Well, hello everybody. Platinum Wine Distributing. We're on beautiful location at Trentadue Winery with Trentadue's winemaker Miro. Miro, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
So, the first thing I want to point out about Trentadue is how a lot of people are missing out on Trentadue and they don't even know it. They don't realize it because right across the road is a little winery you might have heard of called Francis Ford Coppola. And we drove over there today looking at some of Trentadue's vineyards, which are right in their parking lot. And parking lot was full. So first and foremost, we want to say, come on over and see the beautiful grounds and taste the beautiful wines at Trentadue. So Miro is just in Nebraska. It comes to Nebraska regularly. Showed me around the grounds today, and as of right now, it's the first week of May, and the vines are looking great. How's the spring been so far, Miro?
So far, so good. We wish we had a little bit more rain, but we'll take what we can. There's enough rain right now. Everybody's concerned about that in California. Has been this is number 3 drought year. 3 on the row. It's kind of scary. I mean, it's our livelihood. Without water, it's not going to happen. Like I said, luckily our probes here are showing that we have plenty of water, at least enough at this point to carry on through harvest, and that's pretty good. We're happy with that. Our well still has water, so we'll see. Otherwise, we're about 2 weeks early than normal with bud break and bloom. I don't know if you can see, but the vines are starting to bloom right now.
Mm-hmm.
The air smells fantastic. I love this time of the year. It's a short period of time, and there's so many vineyards around here that you can actually smell that very faint jasmine, citrusy aroma from the vines in bloom. It's beautiful. Otherwise, it's been pretty mild spring. Let's say maybe slightly on the warmer side. So things are good so far.
That's what got you off to the early start, was just a little bit warmer, or?
Yeah, that too. Yes.
Okay.
And like I said, everything looks good. We'll see the fruit set, but there's only 20% chance of rain, although it looks kind of cloudy right now. And if it doesn't rain for the next 2 weeks during the bloom, the fruit set should be pretty good. And by looking at the amount of clusters, it looks like a pretty happy year so far.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So the way the vines sit right now, where are they in process? What's the next thing that's going to happen?
Right before the bloom. So once they go through the bloom, there will be we'll see what the set will be, or how many berries actually from the flowers will result into an actual berry. What the pollination will be like, and if the conditions are right, the fruit sets should be pretty good. From that point on, we're heading on to the summer, and we'll do more suckering, perhaps spraying if we need to, and we'll lead us straight to veraison at some point, and then to harvest.
Suckering is what you're getting ready to do right now.
Yes,
like this is right before it needs to get done.
Yes, we started doing it a while ago in some of the blocks. Suckering is by taking the suckers out, or unwanted growth on the vines, so we can only have the cans that we need to grow, and this is when we train the vine so that they can have the proper load of canopy, and the canopy is formed right now.
Fantastic.
So it's a pretty crucial time, and things are growing really fast, and we usually run out of time to do all the suckering that we need to do, but we'll catch up.
Miro, how long have you been at Trentadue?
Since the harvest of 1999, so what is that, 14 years or so?
And where were you prior to Trentadue?
I was with Dry Creek Vineyards in Dry Creek Valley for about 9 years. I started there as an intern and left on my 9th year as an assistant winemaker.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of Trentadue?
We celebrated our 40th anniversary as a winery with the vintage of 1999. So the winery started officially in 1969, but they bought the land and some of existing vineyards, and then they stopped planting in 1959, so 10 years prior. Before that, the family used to have orchards in Cupertino, which now is Silicon Valley, or Santa Clara, Santa Ana, and they moved out to Alexander Valley, which was not a coincidence. They Evelyn Trentadue's relatives, uncles and cousins and so forth, they lived around in this area. And Leo and his father used to come here and buy some grapes and take them down to the city and make wine. So when they come up with a decision to sell the orchards down there, it was an easy, logical decision for them to move up here. And I remember Leo used to tell me that the land here was about $800 an acre back in the 50s, which right now it's probably $138,000 an acre. And so they bought nice chunks of land, and on some of that land we saw earlier, we have a mixed blacks planting, which was planted in 1896 originally, and it's still happily producing, it's still on the property. So Paul Draper from Ridge was very instrumental of pushing Leo into the direction of starting a winery, because until 1969, Leo was a grower, and like many others, they just grew grapes and they sold them. And so Paul Draper, the connection with Ridge is that Leo used to own the Montebello, top of Montebello, where Ridge Winery is currently on it. Leo used to own the land there and an old winery and a house, and he sold that to the original founders of Ridge and then to the company that owns Ridge later. So right now Trentadue doesn't have any holdings there, so it's all owned by Ridge. And then, you know, Paul Draper came here to see where Leo settled, and he saw these old vines, and he really wanted to take them and then make wine for them. So Leo sold them the first batch, which later became Ridge Geyserville, one of their famous field blends. And so since 1969 they've been producing wine. At some point their production was fairly large, well, large in the scale of maybe 50,000 cases, and when I started in 1999 they were down to about 5,000 case production. So we slowly ramped it up to about, it depends on the harvest, 18 to 20,000 cases from the estate that comes to me from the property here.
Cool.
So that's where we are right now.
Cool. And if Miro also makes his own line of wines, affectionately called Miro, which is a
lack of imagination, I guess.
Right. So what varietals do you make of Miro?
Miro, I started it in 2001, and I made Petite Syrah only for the first 3 vintages. Then I got, not that I got bored, but I wanted to experiment with other varieties. So currently I still produce Petite Syrah, still my love, and I also make Zinfandel, Pinot Noir, Cabernet, and a blend, a GSM blend from Lake County. That's the only wine that I don't source the grapes from Sonoma County. And my total production right now, it's a secret, I can't tell you. It's very small.
That sounds good. So back to Trentadue. Like you said, Petite Syrah is your passion.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Petite Syrah when we're driving around the vineyards today.
Mm-hmm.
And going to be some things in the future here with Cabernet. You
Yeah,
make Cabernet.
Yes, we're already making Cabernet, and there's more in the making. We're gonna increase our production once we take back the land that is leased to Coppola currently. That will naturally bring our production up because most of the vines over there are Cabernet. And we have a barren land that we haven't decided what to plant on it, but it may not be a surprise if we plant more Cabernet. It's just that naturally Alexander Valley is becoming more famous, known, if you will, for Bordeaux varieties such as Cabernet and Merlot. And we already have the Zinfandel base, and you know, let's face it, Cabernet is the king. It's still very popular, and seems like our Cabernet, as a surprise to me, is getting more and more popular on the market, and there's more demand for it. You know, we've been on allocation for the last 3 years, so it kind of makes sense to make more Cabernet.
Sure.
Yeah.
What don't people realize about what Trentadue makes? Because you've got a bunch of stuff in the
yes,
tasting
we
room.
have a lot of wines. I think there's still some sort of an idea about Trentadue of being a very large operation, and even for people that they should know better, they're almost local. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe because of our proximity to Clos du Bois, right next door, or one of the Kendall Jackson Vinwood facility, which is right next door as well, or I don't know. But we're not big. We're actually a fairly small winery, and yes, we do make a lot of red wines. Our club's it's a fairly large wine club, so we make a lot of wines for the club only as well. But our forte is between four varieties: Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, Merlot, and Cabernet. But we also make Sangiovese and Sangiovese blend. Of course, we're Italian-owned winery, and we just planted last year a couple acres each of Montepulciano and Sangiovese to expand the production of our Cuvée 32, which is a super Tuscan style blend that we're pretty successful with.
Delicious wine. Delicious wine. Well, things are looking good. Like I said, we toured around the vineyards, looked at some very old vines, looked at some beautiful Sangiovese vines, and like Miro said, they've got some Montepulciano and some other cool things going on out here. It's very easy to get to, like I said, and like Miro said, Clos du Bois.
Yep.
You can see it from here, Coppola, right across the road, and all those beautiful vines as you enter Coppola. That's all Trentadue. Come across the road, you know, it's a little slower over here, a little more easygoing.
Right.
Lots of room to relax. They have a beautiful
big parking lot. Yeah.
Beautiful facility. They do a lot of weddings out here and other special events. Really a beautiful, beautiful place. So when you're out and about in this area, it's definitely a must-see. So
Come and see us.
sounds good.
Won't be disappointed.
Miro, thanks for
Thank you.
taking a minute, and we'll see you back in Nebraska.